Good morning, Planet Atlanta fans. This is Molly coming to you on March the 8th, 2017. It is Annie Ray's birthday. Annie is the graphic designer who did the fabulous spinning globe animation that we have at the beginning of our show. And we wanted to say happy birthday to Annie. And we wanted to bring to you today a few beautiful things about Atlanta and a few concerns we have. First, we're going to show you a couple of segments about the Georgia Dome, which, as you may have heard, is scheduled to be demolished. And we're going to be delivering a petition to Governor Nathan Deal tomorrow. It's Thursday, to suggest that no, we should save the Georgia Dome. And we'll show you a few clips concerning that. Next, we're going to share with you some beautiful footage of the Women's March, January 21st in Atlanta. They say 63,000 to 65,000 estimates I've heard. People came into Atlanta. It was so peaceful, not a single incident. That the policemen all along the route were just thrilled to see us, and we were thrilled to be there. And also there was plenty of parking, even with 60,000 people coming into the city unexpectedly. Still plenty of parking, so we don't need a parking deck as they are saying we do to replace the Georgia Dome. We got plenty of parking. And also, the other thing that we have near the Georgia Dome, between it and the World Congress Center, is a wonderful open space right near the Georgia Veterans Memorial. And it would be a really good space for gatherings, as opposed to Legacy Park, which was, or Freedom Park, I'm not sure, Liberty Plaza, which was just outside the Capitol where the march ended. It was a fenced-in area that they would only let certain number of people, very limited, in to hear the speakers. It wasn't a good place to have a nice unifying gathering at all. But right outside of the Georgia Dome, in between it and the World Congress Center, and blessed by the Georgia Veterans Memorial, that's a good place for a public gathering. And so we need to pay attention to what we're doing and preserve these spaces and places and venues of entertainment, sports, and revenue that we have in our city right now. This is a public asset, and it really should stay that way and not be torn down to accommodate a publicly subsidized parking deck for $17 million or a private hotel. So please join us as we show a few clips related to these issues, and we're going to finish off with a video that we've done for last season of Planet Atlanta that concerned the Georgia Dome and what's happening with some of our wonderful landmarks in Atlanta. So thanks for joining us. We hope you enjoy it, and we hope we inspire you to do great things in Atlanta and love this city as we do. Hello, Woo friends and family. It's really a beautiful night tonight, February 28th, and to my right, there are a lot of folks enjoying the celebration of the Zell Miller Scholarship and the Zell Miller Institute, and celebrating the Hope Scholarship that's helped so many people go to school in Georgia and graduate. And on the other side, I have the Georgia Dome here. The Georgia Dome is part of the Georgia World Congress Center. It was built before the Olympics, and we hosted gymnastics and I can't remember, maybe it was basketball. Had several events here at the Georgia Dome and the Georgia World Congress Center during the Olympics, and then we've been using it ever since. And we've hosted concerts and graduations and basketball games and revivals and robotics competitions. The Georgia Dome has served us so well in so many ways. And sadly, we're planning to demolish it in just a few weeks. This is tragic because the dome isn't even 25 years old yet. And it's fully functional, 80,000 seat indoor sporting facility, or it really can be used for just about anything. And I'm thinking lately we've had to make cuts to the Hope Scholarship, and people are saying we need to have a casino to bring in more revenue to subsidize the Hope Scholarship, to hold on to it. And I really think we can do a lot better than that. Really, if we just kept the dome, we'll save $1 billion asset. If we manage it well, we'll continue to make hundreds of millions of dollars with it every year. And we can use those proceeds to subsidize the Hope Scholarship and help strengthen it and help strengthen our state. It's just a great idea to keep the Georgia Dome, and I hope you join me in trying to save the Dome any way we can to get the word out to our state leaders and city leaders. We need to hold on to the Georgia Dome. We need to save the good that we've got in this city, in this state. We need to save what's profitable. We need to save what benefits us. We don't need to build a casino to continue to do good in this state. We need to hang on to what's already good and make it even better. So thank you for joining me. Thanks for hearing this commentary. I invite you to quickly come down and visit the Georgia Dome. See how beautiful a facility it is, even from the outside, how it's dovetailed with the Georgia World Congress Center. Down there you can see the Georgia Veterans Memorial that says it's dedicated to the veterans who have fought and served so that we can freely enjoy events at the Georgia Dome and life in America. And I hope that we will continue to be able to do that. Thanks so much for joining me. Check out our petition on change.org to save the Dome. And look forward to seeing you again soon at Planet Atlanta, and hoping to save the Dome. Thanks so much.
Anybody have anything else? Yes. I got Maria next, and then the woman in the back.
Okay. I want to thank you for being a green mayor, and we're doing a lot. I think part of what makes Atlanta so beautiful is our trees, and we've got a great tree ordinance. We got great companies like South Face and Turner Foundation protecting the environment. But I'm worried that in a few weeks we might be tearing down the Georgia Dome and paying to haul it to a landfill when it's still a great functional facility that benefits our city and it's paid for. Would you consider a deal where the city buys the Georgia Dome from the state for $1? They can save the demolition cost, and we can continue to host 350 events a year that we've been hosting, like Georgia State graduation and Beyonce, and maybe even host another Olympics.
Yeah, I like you too much to play with you. The Georgia Dome is going to be imploded and it's going to be carried away. And I'm not going to interfere with the Georgia World Congress Center's process. We have some pretty exciting plans for that space. I think that at the end of the day, you will be very satisfied with what comes in place of the Georgia Dome.
Can you preview the plans?
I can't share them because we're not ready to share them yet. But I think that overall, everyone here is going to be thrilled with our plans.
Look how beautiful this building is. Just look how gorgeous we're talking about. This Georgia Dome. And you can see from here, I'm standing at the balcony of the Georgia World Congress Center. You see how they're tied together. Look out here, that's Northside Drive. This is looking more towards Centennial Park area in the downtown. But this facility is invaluable right here where it is. 80,000 seat stadium, indoor sports arena, indoor concert venue, a great place for the GSU graduation ceremony. What are we thinking? Thanks for hearing us. I'm the one that Mayor Reed decided to let ask the question when he saw William Perry at the table. And you know it's bad when I'm the alternative. But basically what I asked him is, Atlanta supposedly has a reputation as being a green city. Obviously, we know that's not really all the time true, especially today. But as a green city, we're about to put a $1 billion finished 80,000 seat stadium in a landfill. I call this Nathan Deal's $1 billion blunder, fumble. You know, we saw the Falcons lose a 3-touchdown lead because they didn't build on what they had and keep with it. We're about to tear down the Georgia Dome. We're about to transform Turner Field into a football field instead of supporting students who are going to school like we should with that money. We're about to give away Underground, which is the best tourist asset we've got in this city. This is wrong. We've got 3 fabulous resources that could make Atlanta the top tourist destination in America. And I can tell you how we can do it. Just give us time. But right now, someone needs to file an injunction to stop the demolition of the dome. It's not only going to be a loss to the state, because, you know, Mayor Reed said we got a $175 million surplus. We got a $1 billion debt in the hotel motel sales tax. What's going to go where the dome is now? Mayor Reed would not say. He wouldn't reveal it. This is wrong. When a mayor won't tell you what's happening in your city, he won't tell you the deal he's already arranged with private parties. We've heard 2 options: a $17 million state-sponsored parking deck and a luxury hotel, which will probably turn into a casino, and we won't get taxes from that. We don't want to subsidize a privately owned and operated casino hotel where the Georgia Dome is now. We want 365 events bringing in hundreds of millions of dollars into this city every year for the next 20 years. And people, you guys, especially you guys who are thinking about running for mayor, don't let this be done before you get there. Now, we saw how Nathan Deal and Kasim Reed sat on their butts while the snow fell and turned this city into a paralyzed metropolis for 2 days. But the nice thing about snow is it melts. But this deal with putting the Georgia Dome in the ground, burying it, that is a debt and a loss that we will not recover from for 20 years, generations. We are saddling our children with subsidizing Super Bowl tickets right now. The Falcons investors are going to get proceeds from the dome. We are not. I mean, from the new Mercedes-Benz Stadium. The dome, just think of the naming rights. Now, also consider the traffic and tie-up and disruption that you're going to see if you really do implode the Georgia Dome and haul that off to a landfill. Do you think anybody wants to go to a conference at the Georgia World Congress Center when that's going on? Do you think anybody's going to be able to drive around there? You will destroy this city while that's going on. That is awful. Now, some people say this train's already left the station. You know it's going to wreck. Stop it. Stop it before it does. Please file an injunction. And I'm wearing this because when we have the Olympics, the state, the city, and the private sector work together to do something good. I got my Olympic shirt on, and you know what? To the first council member who files an injunction, you get my Izzy keychain.
Thank you, Ms. Wu.
Atlanta started out more than 20 years ago as a newspaper. Tabloid size. It was all about the international things going on in Atlanta. This is our first issue, January 1994. And we covered things about international...
Whatever is true, whatever is noble, think about these things. Whatever is right, whatever is pure, go and think about these things.
Right. Welcome to Planet Atlanta. I am Planet Atlanta's founder, Molly Reed Wu. Today it is February 25th in the early morning hours, and I and my editorial assistant, Julie House, are working on bringing you episode 2 of Planet Atlanta TV show, which will run on People TV. That's Comcast Channel 24. And we're going to be bringing you a show at 8 o'clock for a half hour every evening, every Friday evening, every week for the whole season. So look to be with us for the next 10 weeks at least. Well, what is Planet Atlanta? Planet Atlanta started out more than 20 years ago as a newspaper. Tabloid size. It was all about the international things going on in Atlanta. This is our first issue, January 1994. And we covered things about international business, international cultures, the different immigrant communities in Atlanta. We had everything about, oh, and this is back when Maynard Jackson was mayor. You can see right there, Maynard Jackson chows down with chopsticks at Japan Fest. Those of us who remember Maynard Jackson, our fabulous mayor, will remember what a wonderful cultural promoter he was. And not only was Maynard Jackson mayor at that time, we had right there, looking great, Maynard Jackson. And we had Leanne Levitin was the DeKalb CEO at that time in January 1994. So a lot of things have changed. A lot of things haven't changed. But I'll stop for just a second because it does appear my coffee is boiling over. So check this out, Julie. We have fresh brewed coffee, and I wish I could share it with you, but you know there are limits to TV. But nevertheless, and if I could share them with you, I'd give you some of these fresh baked cookies too. And you might even enjoy this fresh cut pineapple. But in lieu of that, we're going to bring you fresh news every week. Planet Atlanta news about what's going on in the city, culturally, arts and music, but more importantly, what's going on downtown? What are the issues that affect us all? Well, more than 20 years ago, right before the Olympics, we realized that Atlanta was really going to be in the spotlight of the world with the Olympics coming, and we needed to get to know the different people within our city. They weren't being well reported on in the major media, but now basically we want everybody to know what's going on in our city within the city, because a lot of things are happening inside of our government and our state government and our city government which we're out of touch with. So what we want to do this issue, we're going to tell you all about things going on downtown. One of the major things that we're going to talk about is the Georgia Dome. Some of you might not know that there are plans to demolish the Georgia Dome, which seems crazy because the Georgia Dome is the largest indoor sporting facility in the North American Hemisphere, according to Wikipedia. 70,000 seats. We're hosting Beyonce, we're hosting Joel Osteen, we're hosting football games, soccer games. I mean, the Georgia Dome is a fabulous income generator for the city of Atlanta and the state of Georgia, and it is a publicly owned property. We've already seen the demolition of the Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Bridge, which connected the historic black communities around Atlanta University Center to the economic centers of downtown. We've also seen the destruction of two beautiful historic churches, irreplaceable, on the National Registry of Historic Places like Friendship Baptist Church. All of this torn down to make way for a new publicly subsidized stadium that will benefit the Falcons investors. This is really unfortunate. And we're seeing Turner Field being deserted and sold again, and the neighbors around Turner Field being displaced for new developments. We even saw a situation where one woman found out that there was a city permit to demolish her house. They'd applied to demolish her house without even telling the homeowner of their plans. We'll try to do our best to report on these issues and give you the opportunity to weigh in. At least we'll ask the questions, what the heck is going on? And hopefully we'll get some answers. Join us as we try on our quest to do our research and bring it to you. So for this issue right now, we're going to start with the Georgia Dome, where just this past Sunday, we went to hear Donald Trump speak, along with the Bronner Brothers Hair Show, Georgia World Congress Center, which is, again, right next to the Georgia Dome. So we'll start with that and bring you through more enjoyable things at Planet Atlanta. Thanks for joining us.
But we're going to make it bigger and stronger and better than ever before. So we're going to start, and it's going to be soon.
From the inside of the World Congress Center, you can easily see how closely affiliated the Georgia Dome and the Congress Center really are. They're connected architecturally, physically, aesthetically, and functionally. It's very easy for someone who's attending something at the Georgia World Congress Center to walk over to the Dome, or vice versa. And the proximity of the Georgia Dome to the downtown area of Centennial Park and Phillips Arena and other tourist attractions of downtown makes it really a great asset for the city of Atlanta and bringing in tourists to stay for a while. It's hard to imagine what it might be like to actually demolish this building, which is beautiful in its own way. It's not even 25 years old. It was built before the 1996 Olympic Games in Atlanta. I remember seeing gymnastics here, which was amazing. But it's also been a host of football games, of course, soccer games, all kinds of concerts, monster truck jams, graduation ceremonies, high school football games even. It's an integral part of our community and our history. And it's perfectly functional, it's profitable, it's almost paid off, I understand, but we will follow up on that. And I really would be interested to find out the financial reasoning of tearing down this Georgia Dome, to see how it's feasible. I've asked several congressmen and House Speaker David Ralston, why are we doing this? And no one seems to really have a good answer. So in the weeks ahead, we'll be examining exactly why are we tearing down the Georgia Dome, which is so perfectly functional with the Georgia World Congress Center and with all of downtown Atlanta and the state. It's a fabulous state asset. It's really hard to imagine why we would just knock this thing down. But perhaps we'll get more answers in the weeks to come. We certainly hope to bring them to you when we do. And in the meantime, though, we want to show you a few videos of other parts of our city which recently were demolished at the instructions of state and city governments. And when we see what we lost in those demolitions, I think we are warned to think twice about the dome. This is a scene from where Atlanta's historic Friendship Baptist Church used to stand. It was on the corner of Martin Luther King Jr. Drive and where it intersected with Northside Drive, and this is the side that faced Mitchell Street, what used to be Mitchell Street. Friendship Baptist Church was the oldest black Baptist church in the city of Atlanta. It was founded by former slaves more than 150 years ago. They held services in a donated railroad boxcar. For a long time, they would hold services on Sunday, and during the weekdays, the boxcar served as a school for black children. Later, it became the beginning of Atlanta University. Spelman College was founded in the basement of Friendship Baptist Church, and Friendship also served as the first Atlanta home for Morehouse. Maynard Jackson, the first African-American mayor of Atlanta, and really the first African-American mayor of any southern U.S. city of significance, got his start at Friendship Baptist Church when his father was called to pastor there. And then Maynard went on to Morehouse when he was 14, and then the rest is history. Martin Luther King also had some history with Friendship. And if Morehouse hadn't gotten its start at Friendship, you gotta wonder, would King have gone to Morehouse? Would King have become the great leader that he was? So the history of Friendship is tremendous. It intertwines the educational institutions with the religious institutions. It's considered the mother church of several other significant congregations in Atlanta. And it was on the National Register of Historic Places before it was demolished to clear a path for the new publicly subsidized football stadium that will be used by the Falcons. And there was a hearing which was required by the EPA before Friendship was destroyed. But I think everybody realized that the hearing was a bit of a sham, that the deal was already done, and by the time the wrecking ball was coming to Friendship, it was too late to save what everybody knew should have been saved. And this is what Martin Luther King Jr. Drive ended up looking like after Friendship was on the demolition schedule, and the Martin Luther King Jr. Drive Bridge, which connected the historic black communities to the center of downtown, was totally demolished, also to make room for the new Falcon Stadium. So this is Martin Luther King Jr. Drive in Atlanta as it is right now. Well, right now there's more stadium construction on it. And here you can see the Georgia Dome still standing. And there's really no good reason to tear it down that we can see. Here's a view of the dome at night. a rare time in June of 2014 when there was a double rainbow right over it. And you can even see in this picture too how the dome is integrally connected to our city. What a massive, perfectly functional structure it is. And it really seems strange to go ahead and tear it down. So, to say it in a more simple way, we've decided to write a little song, and we're going to share it with you too. And we'd invite you to check out our Facebook page at planetatlanta.tv and sign the petition to save the dome. Governor Deal and Mayor Reed, please consider this petition to save the Georgia Dome from debt and demolition. The Georgia Dome's attractions bring in millions to our state. From the Olympics to Beyonce, it helps make Georgia great. The largest indoor sports arena in our hemisphere is the gift that keeps on giving, with proceeds every year. To throw away our dome and act like it's some piece of trash, that's only going to empty out our state's reserves of cash. And then to have to pay the Falcons for their private venture, that's a ripoff so obscene, it deserves some censure. Save the dome, don't tear it down. It's the jewel in Georgia's crown. Let it shine in our hometown. Governor Deal and Mayor Reed, you wouldn't risk a vote, but the sentiment of Georgia folks is something you should note. Tearing down our valued dome and going into debt for something we don't need is just an awful bet. We'd rather go to concerts, games, and shows with monster trucks than have to pay for legislators' stupid cluster. Ah, shucks. We'd rather keep the dome and save $1 billion. So,
Yeah, I thought we were done.
no, keep going. So, Governor Deal and Mayor Reed, please show us that you're competent to keep the Georgia Dome profitable and prominent. From the site where it was built, our dome should not be moved. It's joined with the World Congress Center like it's tongue and grooved. It's central to Centennial, it's a place you go for game, and it's just an easy tourist stroll to the Football Hall of Fame. For college graduations and revivals in our state, from Taylor Swift to Supercross, the venue is just great. So come on guys, don't hesitate, do the right thing for our state. Save the dome, don't tear it down. It's the jewel in Georgia's crown. Let it shine in our hometown. Is that it? It is now. We'd also like to thank our audience of Mom and Charlie and JJ. Thank you, family. But most of all, we'd like to thank Cousin Ben. That's David Drummel on the banjo. Thank you, Ben.
Mighty fun to be here.
That's great. To wrap up this episode of Planet Atlanta, I'd like to introduce you to a group in town called Pen Women, the American Pen Women. This is the Atlanta branch of the National League of American Pen Women, a historic organization of artists and writers and musicians, composers. And we have a program we do every year called Painted Sounds, and this is a special video we did about this program where we share our talents with each other and kind of creatively cross-pollinate. So I'm taking you out with a program of Painted Sounds by the Atlanta branch of American Pen Women with a song by composer Marcia Dunscombe, sung by Margot Dixon. And look forward to seeing you on the planet again soon.
Think about these things, and the peace of God be with you, and with you the peace of God, and the peace of God be with you, with you. Whatever is lovely, whatever is admirable, go on and think about these things. Whatever is excellent, whatever is praiseworthy, think about these things. And the peace of God be with you, and with you the peace of God, and the peace of God be with you the peace of God. Whatever is true, whatever is noble, think about these things. Whatever is right, whatever is pure, go and think about these things. And the peace of God be with you, and with you the peace of God. And the peace of God be with you the peace of God. With you the peace of God. With you the peace of God.